Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. I tried to get the old biddies not to drift into boring topics like classic literature, but they are relentless and a lot stronger than they look. And now, on with the show.
And with the sound of the cuckoo, you know that it is time for the Clockwork Cabaret.
Hooray!
I am Emmett Davenport.
And I am Lady Attercop.
And I am milkshake drunk. No, I'm just not. I'm not.
I mean, I'm bourbon drunk, so I don't see the problem with that.
No, I did drink a milkshake earlier, but I'm not milkshake drunk.
You're just lactose intolerant.
I am lactose intolerant. That's all that is.
Poor plan.
It was a bad plan. Yeah. No, now I'm actually drinking a dirty martini because I was trying to be classy. And and don't worry, it's like it's several hours from the milkshake because that was a mistake.
I don't think of a dirty martini as a classy martini.
Oh, it's
We're gonna drive a moose shaken, not stirred.
Oh.
You shouldn't shake a martini. You're gonna bruise the gin.
I don't shake it. I stir it.
Yeah.
No, and also, so the dirty martini I have made is 2.5 shots of gin.
Oh.
1 shot of extra dry vermouth.
Oh.
Half a shot of olive juice, and then 3 olives. And I chilled the glass, and then I poured in my martini. It seemed fancy. It seemed fancy to me.
I am drinking a Lady Attercop special.
Bourbon and seltzer?
I was hoping that would clink, but it did not.
Bourbon and seltzer?
Bourbon. It's 2 shots of bourbon, a couple of dashes of bitters, topped with seltzer.
I thought so. Bourbon and seltzer.
I'm an old man. I also had a cat on my lap that was biting me.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if that made it into the audio, but
I didn't hear it. But
it's a little spicy.
So it's already been a weird week, I feel like.
It's been a weird year.
It has. I mean,
so
yeah.
I don't have anything to add to that. Normally we have topics, we are timely, we have a plan for discussion, but this week we do not.
No, I normally have the playlist already figured out and a theme, and
we have some direction.
And this week I just kind of went, "Hey, you want to record tonight?"
Yes.
And she said yes, and then here we are, and I have no idea. I don't know. I've been binge watching nerdy television.
I've been binge watching cartoons and reading Beowulf.
Ooh, look at you being all classic literature. Which interpretation of Beowulf are you reading?
Okay, so it's the newest one.
Oh, yes, I've heard.
Let me get the author's name up in front of me because I don't want to miss.
Is it Hetty? Mary?
Nope.
Marianne? Oh, no.
I almost. What we'll do is when we go to commercial break, I'll go and grab my copy, and then we can talk about it at length.
Okay.
But so when I was a young nerd, a junior nerd, a baby nerd, if you will, I took a literature class, an English lit class in high school, and Mrs. Moore. Hi, Mrs. Moore. You don't listen to this, but I don't care. It would be weird if my 12th grade English teacher listening to this show.
She did, and she didn't know it was you until
She
right
didn't know
now.
it was me. Oh, she fucking
No.
she would recognize my foul mouth if nothing else. To be fair, this was the English teacher that we had to submit a book report of a book, an independent learning book of our choosing, and I chose Dracula, and I chose the homoerotic themes of Dracula, and
Oh.
she was on board.
Excellent. I always like those teachers.
Yes, for
Those
my
are my
final
favorites.
project we had to present a final project in class. We had to interpret any work that we had learned out throughout the class, and I turned in an illustrated comic of Beowulf and of the Sir Percival discovering the Holy Grail, which was a Dunkin' Donuts cup, and I got an A.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So this is a like what I'm trying to say is this is a teacher who understands who understood I was a giant nerd, and just sought to kind of incorporate that into my current beliefs. But when we were reading, Beowulf was one of her favorite books because it was the oldest English novel.
Yes.
The oldest surviving print copy of the English novel. She actually had a photograph of the oldest surviving manuscript of Beowulf in the classroom. She had it pinned to her board. And when we were learning Beowulf, we all had to bring in our own quote unquote goblets, which could be just any vessel that would hold liquid. And she would give us all apple juice, and we would scream "Bow!" and slam the goblets onto the desk before she would dole out the apple juice, and then we would learn Beowulf for the day. So I have a soft spot for Beowulf.
Yes. Oh no, I can totally relate. I had a I guess she would have been sophomore social studies Western Civ teacher that Mrs. Fogg that very much reminds me of that. She had the entire Greek gods family tree up on her wall, and then she had medieval weaponry hanging from her ceiling that she had to take down and put back up at the beginning and end of the school year because it wasn't allowed to be left there because fire code.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. There were like big, and a couple of these things were things that other students had turned in for their final projects at different times and stuff. So yeah, and
yes,
also
we were allowed to make weaponry and bring it into class for Beowulf, but it had to be clearly non-lethal.
Yeah,
weaponry.
these were all like homemade. Somebody had made medieval weaponry from things they had around their house, kind of thing. So they were They were very dangerous looking. Like, here's a mace made with nails. Like,
yeah, we were not allowed to bring anything in that looked like it could cause actual harm. So no actual nails, but we were allowed to bring in as many foam swords as we so desired.
Oh yeah, no. Mrs. Fogg also had the whole entire chart of the steps of mummification up on her wall. Yeah, no, I loved that class. I was a huge nerd for Western Civ, and I was not allowed to take the pre-test. Like, she basically did like a Jeopardy game to get people ready for the pop quiz that would happen on Fridays for the like whatever section of the book we were reading, and I had to be the scorekeeper because I won way too many rounds, because also I was always the one going, ooh, I know. And finally she was like, you're gonna be the scorekeeper from now on because you need to give everyone else a chance. And I was like, but no one is answering.
A good English teacher is a boon. Is a boon to the soul.
Yeah, this was a social studies teacher, but yes, good English teachers are also very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, this Beowulf was not the only weird thing we do. We also had, because Canterbury Tales
Oh yes.
was a contest for telling a story,
Yeah.
and the prize for the story was that you won food at the end of the journey, at the end of the pilgrimage.
Yeah.
When we learned Canterbury Tales, she held a contest across all of her classes that you had to present a Canterbury Tale, and whoever presented it the best won for their class. And the prize was that you got to come in during lunch and eat an Italian. She got a bunch of Italian food from the local Italian eatery.
Oh.
So it was like, yeah. So they were like, built into what you were learning is like, oh, Canterbury Tales is a contest. You have to tell a good story in order to get a meal. So everyone present to me your version of Canterbury Tales. And my partner and I, we had a puppet show. We had some songs. This is not surprising to anybody who listens to the show. That in 12th grade, I was all like, I'm going to present puppets and a song and maybe a dance routine.
Yeah. That's not surprising to me.
Not surprising in the slightest. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Oh no, I believe it was my junior year of high school, I took a 1960s history / English class called Like a Rolling Stone.
Oh.
And it was essentially the teacher, Mr. Hammond, who taught it, like pretty much every book in it I had read already, because growing up with hippies.
You had lived that class.
Yeah, so I had taken it thinking, oh, I'll learn some new things, but it was like we read the letters from Vietnam, which I read because my mom had it in the house, and we read a bunch of other 1960s literature and things like that, and Travels with Charlie by Steinbeck, and a bunch of other things. Like, we talked about the civil rights movement and the psychedelic progressive music movement and all of these different things in it. And I think at one point, Mr. Hammond was like, I bet I could just leave and you could teach this class. I was like,
oh no,
I don't want to.
Is that a compliment or a dig?
I don't know. No, he was cool. I hung out with because I was a homeschooled weirdo. I hung out with the teachers more than I hung out with kids my own age, because I did not like them.
Do you want to hear the level of nerditude we got up to in my 12th grade class? Speaking of Steinbeck, this actually leads back to Steinbeck. So when we did the King Arthur chapter, got to King Arthur after we read Beowulf, we actually read the Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights by John Steinbeck.
Oh yeah.
Did you? But some of our listeners didn't know that John Steinbeck wrote King Arthur.
He did.
Book.
I was obsessed with Arthurian legends when I was 9. So I read Le Morte d'Arthur and the Steinbeck version, and
we didn't
everything.
read Le Morte d'Arthur, and we didn't read The Once and Future King because, according to our teacher,
that's problematic.
They were a little too.
It was terrible.
Modern English. They had taken the paganism out of it.
The problem that I have with The Once and Future King is more of the rampant sexism. And misogyny.
Yeah, there's that too.
The whole Morgan Le Fay
version of
the whole Morgan Le Fay being around.
Don't know John Steinbeck wrote a version of King Arthur. It's because he died before he could finish it.
Yeah, it's one of his unfinished works. But yes, I have actually read it.
Yeah, that was the version of King Arthur we read, because why read Le Morte d'Arthur when we could read the John Steinbeck version?
And the John Steinbeck, for some weird reason, is why I read. It's how I discovered the Grey King Rising series by Susan Cooper, because it was one of those weird things where I think I borrowed it from the school library. I borrowed the Steinbeck from the school library, and the librarian was like, "Oh, you like You like King Arthur stuff. I remember you. You've come in here a couple times and borrowed different things. And I was like, yes. Have you read this book? And I went, no, I have not. I will take that one. And I got they only had the first book, and then I had to go to the public library to get the rest of them. But that was how I discovered it, was because of the Steinbeck. And
it's a good version, honestly. Like, I mean, I haven't read it since I was in 12th grade.
For when you're 16 or 17, it's great.
I hesitate to revisit it.
Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of books.
I feel that way about a lot of Steinbeck, honestly.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Ooh. But yeah, no, you can skip the Steinbeck. Just read the Darkest Rising series.
Oh yeah, that's so much. I like that one. I mean, it's not Arthurian legend.
All the Arthur you want, all the paganism you want, less of the period appropriate sexism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, no, that's good. There's no embarrassing Guinevere.
Yeah, I haven't revisited any of the ladies of the Steinbeck King Arthur novels.
I'm
a little afraid.
Yeah, I don't remember, and I mean, I read them. I read them a long time ago, so yeah.
I read them a long time ago too, and just judging by what I know of his other works.
Yes, it's probably
not going to be good.
It's probably era appropriate. It's not even appropriate. That's not the phrase I'm looking for.
No,
it's
just
it's just gonna be something that was written in the 30s and 40s, and then I'm gonna be.
Of Mice and Men, there was a guy that had mental issues that murdered a woman.
Yeah.
And somehow that fault was placed on the woman for being there and attractive in front of this guy who might have murdered her. So we're just going to put that out there about Steinbeck.
Yeah. There's a lot of
read The Darkest Rising. It's written by a woman. Yes. It's better.
Much more enjoyable.
So much more enjoyable.
Also kid friendly. Hey, if you've got kids and you want to get them into nerdy stuff, excellent.
Read The Darkest Rising. Don't show them the movie.
Yes.
The movie is garbage, which we have complained about in the past. I have opinions.
Yes, we have both tried to watch it.
The Darkest Rising is a good time. Again, not as modern as you would hope, but better than Steinbeck. It's a low bar, but it's better than Steinbeck.
And on that note, I'm going to press a button.
Stop by our dimly lit and unexplainably damp bookstore to peruse and purchase our seething collection of hideous books on any number of uncomfortable topics, to include The Organ Slapper's Field Guide, Neighbor Spotting, A Picture Book of Unfortunate Clowns, Hobo Tagging, The Lady's Way to Choke Things, and How to Make a Dog Vomit, Part the First. Shank Street, Unpleasant Used and Rare Books. You at least want to look.
All right, Miss Lady Attercop. I'm adding more titular titles to you. So lay down some of your Beowulf.
I'm here to educate y'all. All right, so Beowulf, one of the oldest written works in what we would consider English. The modern not the modern tongue, but Anglo-Saxon tongue. If you had to read it in high school, like I did, you probably heard a version of it that sounded something like these are the first lines where they are trying to gather the Spear Danes around in the feasting hall to relive tales of glorious battle. And if you had to read something about it, you probably heard something like, "What? We of the Spear Danes, in days of yore of the people's kings glory heard, how the nobleman valor did." And you went, what the heck does that mean? The original Anglo-Saxon was Hoit! We Gardania in Gardenium, and I can't read the rest because it's in Anglo-Saxon, and I don't speak that. So if you're the kind of nerd that likes that kind of archaic bullcrap, you probably got really excited. And Hoit is one of those words like okay or hombre or like a bunch of other things that don't have an exact literal English translation. And so the newest version that I've been reading, and it is by Maria Devana Headley. She wrote The Mere Wife, so she's not a stranger to Beowulf canon. Starts off her interpretation of Beowulf with what was kind of a hey, in modern Southern parlance, we'd be, hey y'all, come listen to this. Doesn't mean exactly what it means, but it's like, come here, come listen. And she starts it off with, bro, tell me we still know how to speak of kings. In the old days, everyone knew what men were brave, bold, glory bound. Only stories now. But I'll found the Spear Dane song, hoarded for hungry times. Their first father was a foundling, scald skillfling. He spent his youth fists up, brow beating every barstool brother, bonfiring his enemies. That man began the waves, a baby in a basket. But he bootstrapped his way into the kingdom, yo, trading loneliness for luxury. Whatever they thought kneeling necessary or no, everyone from head to tail to the whale road bent down. There's a king. There's a crown. That was a good king. So, like, I am here for Spear Day and starting their story like, bro! Get your brewski and come on down, y'all. We're going to tell a story of kings.
I'm not gonna be able to think of Beowulf without picturing it being jocks.
To be fair, that's kind of the Anglo-Saxons' whole vibe,
like,
right?
Soccer hooligans around a fire.
Super into broness. They are super into throwing down with their brothers. They are super into their like fraternity. I mean, the women and the horses all sleep together outside, and like the you know the houses outside of the like super important den. It is kind of a frat house.
Yes, no.
I mean, like
that's
all the
now
women
gonna...
and children and the horses all sleep in a
I
ring around.
I now want to watch
the lodge, the main lodge, where all the bros hang out and talk about their totally gnarly battles. And so it's basically a frat house.
I know. I now really want to see that movie.
Yeah.
I want to see the Beowulf done as a frat house. Normally, not into it, but if it's Beowulf, I might be there.
Well, if you kind of think of it, if you kind of think of the Anglo-Saxons as the Spear Danes as bros,
yeah,
we live in North Carolina, the land of frats. We can suddenly understand these characters in a modern way that may have been kind of elusive to us before as nerds.
I can't even bring that.
Bro!
Bro! Gonna get some brewskis. I got some Beast on tap.
Bro, tell me we still know how to speak of kings. That is something you could read in a tweet today.
Yes, yeah.
My king! Tell me we still know how to speak of you, bro!
Oh,
it's like a more toxic version of Bill and Ted.
Oh, that's terrible.
Bill and Ted are non-toxic.
No, they're adorable.
Are non-toxic male
bro dudes.
heroes. for the days,
They're
for the ages.
they're folk heroes.
Yes.
I did watch the new Bill and Ted movie.
You watched the new Bill and Ted movie as well. It is very enjoyable.
It's entertaining. It's definitely you certainly don't walk away thinking this was a brilliant piece of cinema.
I mean,
but
you didn't walk away from either of the other Bill and Ted movies thinking that.
No, but it was very entertaining, and I also liked. There were definitely aspects of it that I thought was going to go in a terrible direction, and they didn't, and so it was very heartwarming.
Yes, it was. It was
I'm
really
trying
good.
I'm trying not to spoil it for those who haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it, if you liked the other Bill and Ted movies, I'd highly recommend it.
It hit all the sweet nostalgia points without being insulting, cloying, or
pandering. Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah,
I did also. I really liked watching them be different versions of themselves, and it looked like they were that the actors themselves were having a good time.
They slipped back into their alternate egos very easily.
Yes. Also, it is the most emoting I have ever seen Keanu Reeves do in my life, in his career, which is pretty much the same of all of his roles.
Mm-hmm. And if you just want to watch a movie about two non-toxic dudes being BFFs for evs.
Yes, yeah.
And entwining their lives with each other in a super wholesome and non-toxic way. It's there for you.
I think their wives might be opposed.
At the end.
Oh no, that's
no spoilers.
Yes,
there don't be any spoilers.
No, they definitely have a weird. They
have
a
very intertwined relationship.
Yes.
But in a very sweet way.
Symbiotic.
Yeah, and it's never presented as anything other than
they're just friends. Yeah, they're best.
Just who they are.
Yeah. No, and I completely appreciate that. I do.
Yeah.
It's not. No, in no way do I mean it as an insult. It is just funny in that. It just there's definitely those points of I was thinking, yeah, no, I would not want to be the significant other in that relationship.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be married to Bill or Ted either, but like if you're marrying Bill or Ted, you gotta know that you're kind of marrying both of them.
Yeah, except those princesses, they didn't know. They were from medieval times.
But the daughters were a delight.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I loved them, and I loved their
Bill
and Ted impressions.
Yeah, it was great.
And I liked all of the historical figures that they brought back.
Kid Cudi was a delight.
Oh my God, Kid Cudi cracked me up.
There was good. So that's another good wholesome.
And the Reaper.
Wholesome man things today.
Yes, we're feeling very manly. Very manly. I did watch the first two Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Those are wholesome and manly.
Yes, they are. But I will tell you that 1980s movies have they're stylistically, they are so slow.
Yeah.
I am
They're a lot slower than
there is so much intro work in there in those movies that I am definitely spoiled by current movie things where it's like where I feel like directors have finally realized this is a different medium. We can tell a whole bunch of the story without actually saying anything. Because we can put subtext and like background things and the things that we can put in here that we don't have to drag out in a 20-minute introduction. In the Superman 2, the first 15 minutes is essentially the first movie.
Yeah, no.
And
to be fair, to the 1980s. This is before
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Well, no. Also, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Also, like
Everything
it's
just
before
seems real slow.
most people had VHS.
Yes.
So people didn't have, they didn't have VCRs. They didn't have, they didn't like, movies on demand run a thing. So recapping the first movie was not that big a deal breaker because it literally, your audience might not have seen the last movie.
Yeah, since it was in the theater. Yeah.
So, like I understand. So I understand the whole kind of recapping what happened.
But the first
they're
one,
assuming a younger audience.
Yeah, no, the first one was very slow. The second one was very slow.
And people might have been going to see the second one that never saw the first one because they might have been too young or they didn't remember it.
Yeah, no, it was very slow. But I will say, watching Christopher Reeve be Superman was a delight.
He's the best.
Like he's charming.
You can tell if he's Clark Kent or Superman just based on the body language.
Yes, that was the part that I was just I hadn't remembered that until I was watching it, and just watching how he like kind of folded his body in a little bit, and he talked a little more nasally, and the glasses, and like he dropped his voice up. He actually made his voice up, pitched it up a little higher when he was being Clark Kent. He was purposefully being clumsier.
He makes you believe that one of the greatest investigative reporters of her age would not realize these two people were the same person.
Yeah. There's, and several times she thinks that that maybe it's him. And and there was definitely it was really good. And that part, those
how
parts.
good is Margot Kidder as Lois Lane?
What?
How good is Margot Kidder as Lois Lane?
She was one of she is definitely one of my hero, one of the hero female characters that I never think about until I've watched it and went, oh yeah, no, Margot Kidder's Lois Lane was totally one of the things that made me go, ooh, lady in a movie. She does do some stupid stuff, but at the same time, like she's still kind of a badass.
Busting,
She throws herself over Niagara Falls because she's fairly certain Clark is Superman.
You buy her as somebody who's won a Pulitzer for being a badass.
Like she's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna test this theory, and just chucks herself over it because she's like, yep, gonna do it.
No, I know I'm right.
I know I'm right. I
don't even have to have a
no, and then when he doesn't rescue her, I mean, he does kind of, but not really. He doesn't turn into Superman and rescue her.
Also, I want to see the scene where Clark is concerned with Lois about how much she's smoking because she's just smoking a lot.
Well, so that in the first movie, there's a scene where he X-rays her lungs.
Yeah,
and says something about the fact that change my. He's essentially like, oh yeah, not right now.
She's smoking a lot.
You're smoking a lot.
And
you might want to cut back on that.
It's wonderful.
No, they were. It was adorable. I enjoyed it. They were still. I did have to fast forward through some of them because it was just so plodding slow, and I was just. I don't need to see this. I don't care. I don't care that General Zod and Ursa and whatever his name is landed in the middle of of a pond. I don't care.
Although as a child, I was terrified of the Kryptonians. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
No, General Zod, man. Kneel before Zod. I remember.
I know he went on to become Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, but it's still
he was Beatrice in Beatrice.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yes, which just cracks me up. It's like,
which again, very dated movie.
Yes,
but
still adorable. I still enjoyed it. I've watched it since its release. But yeah, I watched that, and then I watched I've been having a brotastic. Weirdly, I have been having a brotastic movie watching experience. And then I've been watching Doom Patrol because I just like watching a robot swear a whole bunch. No,
I mean, we do we do have
actually
Poppy and Percy on this show,
Yes.
so it makes sense. Have they ever sworn?
No, they don't swear. They
Can we
were
make them swear?
probably, but I haven't ever asked them to. I'd have to take their parental block off.
Okay.
And then I worry. I then worry. You know what happens to AI when
yeah, when you
there's-
take the parental block
yeah,
off, it goes
yeah.
very, very wrong. But
yes. So
I do just really want to hear Percy say fuck.
All right. Well, I'll ask him. I'll ask him to say something.
It would be disdainful.
Yes.
It would just be the perfect.
I'll ask him to record something for you.
Yeah, isolate it as an MP3 so I can send it to people when they displease me.
I'll ask him. He'll be like, no.
I know he won't want to do it, but what would that sound like? Like Cary Grant telling you to F off. It would be delightful.
Yes, but Doom Patrol I've been enjoying. There are definitely some there's definitely some problematic scenes, but thankfully they don't go into too much detail. Violence, definitely. There's lots of violence, and there's a whole lot of swearing. But Alan Tudyk as a villain in the first season is a delight.
That is pretty delightful. And I do want to hear Brendan Fraser swear a lot.
Oh, he swears so much. Robot Man can't go a whole sentence without swearing, and it cracks me up every single time. I can't help it. Robot swearing just makes me laugh.
And I know he's not Encino Man. That was a part he played.
Yeah.
But it would be like Encino Man cussing out Pauly Shore. And in my head, that is delightful.
I just think of him as George of the Jungle.
Or George of the Jungle. Also delightful swearing.
So wholesome. So wholesome, George of the Jungle.
That loincloth is so small.
Swearing up a storm.
I mean, honestly, we all just watched George of the Jungle for Brendan Fraser and the loincloth. We can admit it now.
Yes. Oh, I admit it.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, Brendan Fraser, in the peak of his peakness,
it was his early.
He just spent the whole movie in a loincloth running around.
Well, yeah, and this was actually after Encino Man too, where he ran around.
And it was
he ran around in a loincloth then too. But
if you want to see peak Brendan Fraser in a loincloth running around, there you go.
Also, after you watch George of the Jungle, you could just watch Dudley Do Right, where he is then in a Mountie costume. You know, if that's your cup of tea.
Yeah, do you want more clothes or less?
Yes.
Brendan Fraser has you covered. And I feel a little bad recommending these movies because they ruined his body.
Yes.
And that is sad.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, I feel bad.
And that's not fair. But
no, he is actually a very good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yes.
And I'm glad he's getting work again. And I still think he's cute. So
yes. Oh yeah. No, he is very
Hey, Brendan Fraser. What's up? Friend of the podcast.
Come on to the podcast. Talk with us. Tell us about. Tell us. Do your Cliff Steele impression and swear
Just
a whole bunch.
curse at us. We'll be fine. Just for the whole time, shouting curse words at us.
It'll be great.
We'll like it.
We're weird like that.
Do you want to read Beowulf?
Actually,
I got a copy of Beowulf.
I will tell you that the no one else will probably remember the scene, but there's a scene in George of the Jungle where he eats coffee out of the coffee can, and then is just running around going coffee, 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 and freaking out and being a spaz. And that is one of the moments where I fell in love with Brendan Fraser.
I don't remember that scene, but I do remember watching Encino Man in the theaters with my dad and my brothers and being like, "Hey, what's up, Brendan Fraser? I normally don't go for gingers, but." And then the Mummy. What is up with the Mummy?
That's one of my favorite movies because
The
it had
monkey is just like,
because it has a hero.
What is your flavor of attractive? We have it on display.
Because it's a hero librarian, and I am down with that.
Do you like ladies? Here's this kick-ass lady. Do you like all-American hero types? Here's Brendan Fraser. Do you like swarthy knife men? We've got this guy. Do you like bald and kind of evil? We've got the actual what is your flavor? We've got it all for you.
The leader of the guardsmen.
Yes, that's the swarthy knife guy.
I think Oded Fair is his name, or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but oh my god, with his long black hair and that, yeah.
Got the curls and the dark eyes and some little face tattoos, and you're just like, hi.
That's also. That actually reminds me of Hot Jafar in the Aladdin movie.
I've not yet experienced Hot Jafar, and I've done that on purpose. I'm a little afraid.
Oh.
Because I'm going to want the movie to go in a whole other direction.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, of course you are. There. You will want it to go in a whole different direction, but...
And then I'm going to have to hop onto my AO3 account and write some fan fiction. And I'm just not, I don't have the time for that right now.
That's fine. No, it's the pandemic, so I've been having to.
It's
I don't
like
have an
that
attention
movie
span.
Everybody's obsessed with right now, where their lady is sniffing the guy's neck.
What?
It's a movie. I will send out. I'm gonna text it to you.
A movie where a lady is
the movie poster that has launched 1,000 fanfics, but then everybody's disappointed about what the actual movie is about.
Oh,
it's a dude in a button-up. And he's like kind of pushed up against a wall, and there's a woman behind him sniffing his neck.
Oh.
And apparently it's a psychological horror.
Oh.
And everybody was like, oh, I thought this was a horny period piece, and now I'm disappointed.
So
it's just one of those, like, the movie poster made it seem like, ooh, it's a saucy period piece where the lady is the aggressor and the buttoned-up man is being...
Right.
Doesn't know how to deal with his feelings for this strong lady. And they're like, no, it's a psychological thriller. She's an evil person and she's seducing him, but she's evil and he doesn't know what to do with that. And nobody went, oh.
We don't want that.
Oh, I thought she was... That's not what that poster That's not what I got from that poster. It's an ongoing joke. In the fan fiction writing community, it's like, it's a cycle. It's a horror movie. And she's the bad guy.
If this isn't a genre,
like a vampire? No, not a vampire.
If this isn't a genre of fan fiction, it should be of taking the poster art of movies that basically promise you something that they did not deliver in the movie. because I worked in the movie theater when I was in high school in my early 20s, and I will tell you there are a lot of movies where it's like, this movie poster does not appropriately describe this movie at all. I am very disappointed by all of this.
What I was promised. I'm trying to think of another movie poster that has done this bait and switch to me.
Oh, there's been a couple. There's also the thing when I also really, really love it when they tell you that a particular actor is going to be in a movie. And so, and that you're like, yes, that F. Murray Abraham is going to be in this movie. I don't know why I picked that name, because that was just the name that popped into my head.
Like, F. Murray Abraham, can't get enough of that guy.
He's going to be in that movie. Awesome. And then you watch the whole movie and you go, wait, where was he? Where was he in this movie? And then you realize, oh no, he played this small bit part. He was in it for like 2 minutes, and if you blinked, you missed him. But they needed some sort of big name recognition in there to get you to rent this movie or go to this movie, and that's what it was. I don't remember. There was that actual F. Murray Abraham movie that I watched
because those bait and switch F. Murray Abraham
because my mother was like, "Ooh, F. Murray Abraham. He played Salieri in the Mozart movie. Let's watch that. And I was like, okay. And then we watched the whole thing, and I don't know where he was. He was not the main character. He was not the villain. I don't know where he was. I think I lost interest.
As soon as you realized he wasn't in the movie, you're like, oh.
No, I think I lost interest because my mother picked terrible movies.
Also a possibility.
But there was definitely was not recognizable.
Yeah. Our younger listeners might not realize this, but like back in the day, you had to go into the VHS rental place and pick movies based entirely. Oh, I know the biggest bait and switch movie I ever saw.
What was it?
So okay, again, you picked movies based on the VHS cover.
Yes,
and
or the description.
Thought you understood what the movie was going to be about.
Yes.
Mine was Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh yeah, no, I was there. Yep, I'm there with you, because you think that's going to be a wholesome.
Back in the 90s, right? Like there weren't a lot of anime.
That's a
Japanese animated movies you could get your hands on, and the ones that you could, a lot of times tended to be pornographic or like questionable. You couldn't watch them in your house with your younger brothers in the room, which is what happened with me with Ninja Scroll.
Yes, wow.
And if you've seen Ninja Scroll, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I mention Ninja Scroll.
I have watched it.
Yeah, there's a lot of rape in that movie. It's in fact a plot point.
Yeah,
Great. Anyway, I picked because I had seen some Miyazaki movies.
Yes.
And from the cover,
it looked beautiful.
Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies. Older brother, younger brother on his back, fireflies floating all around him, looked vaguely Miyazaki-ish. I'm thinking, it's PG-13. I'm like, cool. This'll be fun.
Going on an adventure. Yeah.
Oh, brother's taking his big brother's taking his little brother across the country on an adventure. It'll be nice. It was not nice. It was the most depressing movie.
Yes.
One of the most depressing movies I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
Great film. You should watch it, but you should understand the context of what you are watching.
Yes.
And spoilers for those who haven't seen it. It takes place post American bomb falling on,
Yeah, it's post
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yes.
And the main character is carrying his brother's corpse.
Yes.
But you don't find that out until the end of the movie.
Yes.
Because he has been so traumatized by what has happened that he thinks his brother is alive.
Yes.
And it is sad.
Yep.
Sad on top of sad. Sad.
Yep.
Babette's feast sad.
Yes.
Au revoir les enfants.
Sad. Yes. Yeah.
Just Schindler's List sad. Just sad.
Sophie's
sad.
Choice sad. All of it. It's just.
It's beautifully animated. It's a very important movie because this is a thing that actually happened, and you need to understand that.
Yes.
But don't go into it thinking it's friggin' Kiki's Delivery Service or My Neighbor Totoro, because it is not.
No. Well, and My Neighbor Totoro is also sad.
And that between that and Ninja Scroll, that is when I learned firsthand that animation is not necessarily a kids' media in Japan.
Well, actually,
when choosing movies,
Watership Down is the animated animated movie that broke me.
Fair 80s movies really did that work. Quote unquote children's movies did try to break us.
Yes, but that was the movie that I thought, oh, it's a cartoon movie about bunnies. How bad can it be?
I will argue where the red fern grows should not be a child's tale.
That is,
but is often taught as a child's tale.
Yes, yeah. So this has been problematic.
Stick to Beowulf.
Problematic media.
You should just stick to Beowulf, where frat bros yell at each other. Dude, bro, let's talk of kings.
Oh, right. I feel like we went off on a weird classical literature dude bro thing. It's been a dude bro-tastic episode.
It has.
I don't know why.
But a
But-
good dude bro.
Yes.
A wholesome dude bro. A himbo episode, if you will.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And with that, we shall bid everyone adieu. This has been the Clockwork Cabaret.
Just caught what I said. like a smoke bomb.
It was a sneaky smoke bomb. oh.
Like, bro, this has been the Clockwork Cabaret, you know? And like, from the heart, my brothers, I just want to tell you, this isn't like, work or some garbage. Like, it's not work. It's community, man. It's not work we do. What is it, bro?
It's love.
Yeah, man. And you know where you can find us? In our love.
No. Where?
You can find it on the internet, y'all. Go to clockworkcabaret.com. And there you'll find our social media. And you can support our Patreon because, bros support bros, bro. You know? And like, hey, man, if you can't support us every month, we understand. Shit happens, dude. You can support us. You can give us a one-time donation on PayPal. You can follow us on social media. Like, yeah, dude. Just like, slam it. You know? With the support and the love. Because it's a harsh world out there, man. And nobody has your back but you and your brothers and sisters and people of non-binary identities. Because we aren't about exclusion, we're about love. Because why, Emmett? Why?
I don't know anymore.
Because, like, we're all human, y'all. We
Oh.
love each other. Because it's not work, it's love. She is Emmett Davenport, y'all.
And I think she's Lady Attercop.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you all next week.
Are you a soul-searching poet of sombre disposition, looking for a location necessary to morbid reflection? Are you a stoic professor of criminology in need of a home ripe with a potential for intriguing calamity? We have the location for you. Skeletal tree on a mist-shrouded hill? We got it. Rickety shutters that clatter in a baleful wind? There they are. The hounds? You can't stop us from releasing them. From creaking floorboards to inaccessible attics, every property is guaranteed to amuse, inspire, and forebode. Sextant St. Sextant's mood-setting real estate. There's a Fogg on the moors, and it could be yours.